Everyone. Hope everyone is doing good and safe amid this COVID-19 situation which is going on, and hope everyone is getting vaccinated at the earliest. Though vaccinated, please stay safe. Follow all the COVID-19 safety protocols wherever you are going out, like social distancing, wearing masks, using hand sanitizers. Whenever you are going out in public, stay safe. I am Girish Nayak. I am from the tax department at HLB HAMD. This is a casual presentation on a few important topics which we wanted to inform to you based on the recent changes brought in by FTA and one important decision brought in by Ministry of Finance. The topic of the presentation would be VAT health check, administrative penalties introduced by FTA, and Cabinet Decision number 51. Coming to the point straight, what is VAT health check? A VAT health check is an assessment of what should be and what is. Now, what should be? What should be the VAT compliance procedures, practices, controls, documentation as per the UAE VAT law, and what is actually existing in a corporate entity? The difference between the two will give out a list of non-compliances. The team at HLB HAMD, tax team at HLB HAMD, always focuses on this criteria when a VAT health check is done. Because whenever an FTA is also coming to audit, they will see what are the documents maintained by the company, that is what is, and what are the documents they are expecting, or as per the UAE VAT law, what should be maintained, what should be. And the difference they will find out. And for the non-compliance, they will be levying penalty fines based on the tax procedures law. Now, why is the VAT health check necessary? During VAT health check, it can be found out whether all the accounting records, documentation as prescribed or as advised by FTA are maintained and followed by the corporate entity or not. So if you're not maintaining that by VAT health check, we can find out where the non-compliances are and we can fix it and make necessary corrective action. Because you may not be causing any tax revenue slippages to FTA. There won't be any revenue loss from tax to the FTA because of the practice that we are doing. But because of the simple documentation procedure itself, FTA has levied penalty on companies because of the non-compliance. Now, second point in VAT health check is the most important thing, is the review of the past returns already filed. Now, why we have to do that? We have already filed the return. Why should we be doing a review of that? FTA is not coming up with any queries on the return or something like that. No, FTA can come up anytime. If in one return they find any non-compliance, any error in a return which is already reported, they will look into the previous return. And if that is a committed mistake, if it is a repetitive mistake, then every return is going subject to be a penalty and scrutiny. So review of the past returns will help us to find out whether the reported items are correctly reported or not under correct categories, in correct boxes, whether the input claims are correctly claimed or not, whether disallowed expenses are claimed, which should not have been claimed, but we have claimed it, whether correct 5% transactions are reported as 5% transactions, or zero-rated transactions are correctly reported under zero-rated transactions or not, whether exempt supplies are reported correctly or not, whether the input tax on exempt supplies are not claimed and proper apportionment method is applied or not, that all can be checked. Now, whenever an FTA is coming to an audit or a review of one company's financials, the first thing they will be taking is a trial balance. So in VAT health check, where there are group entities, we will find out whether the entities are having separate books of accounts or not. Though it is in the same tax group, FTA always insists the transactions between the tax in the intra-tax group is always out of scope. But still, separate books of accounts are required for each of those entities. Now, Impact of non-compliance. When a VAT health check is done, the outcome can be the list of non-compliances that is existing in the company's profile right now. And because of the non-compliance, what is going to be the impact on the company? Of course, non-compliance are subject to penalty always. So what is the amount of penalty? What is the corrective action so that the penalties don't increase over a period of time? So what corrective action is required? This all can be the outcome of a VAT health check. So whenever a health check is done, a first-class health check will always go to the basic details and then find out how a taxpayer can be relieved from further non-compliances and how a proper VAT control documentation practice and procedures can be implemented. Once that is done, the taxpayer can be free, can have a carefree attitude towards the VAT aspects because everything will be documented and everything properly channelized. So then they don't have to worry about any non-compliance. Because over a period of time, FTI is also introducing many changes to the law. So whether that law changes are also incorporated or not, that is also a very important aspect. That all can be found out only by a regular, maybe every 2 years or every 3 years. All the taxpayers should get a health check conducted to just have an assurance whether they are in line with the FTA provisions or not. Like we do an audit of financial statements every year, for which we have to present financial statements to the bank, to the free zone authorities, to the government authorities, wherever required. Similarly, this audit is a sort of an audit itself, but we provide a VAT health check. It is termed as VAT health check because it's always, tax. When it comes to tax, it is always something related to our operations of a company. It can affect the operations of the company. Like if a huge penalty comes, then it will affect the cash flow of the company. So it will be affecting the health of a company is a body. And if it is affecting the operations, it is like affecting the body. So it is termed as VAT health check. So every 3 years, every 2 years or 3 years at the max, a health check should be done to have an assurance that everything is in line with FTA provisions or not. Now, we'll be giving some examples of what will be the outcome of VAT health check. For example, simple example, export of goods. Export of goods, everyone knows that it is to be reported under 0%, 100 out of 100. But what documents are required to substantiate that this export has happened and this should be reported under 0%? We don't have to maintain any special records or anything. We just have to maintain the customs documents, customs clearance certificate, and the exit certificate to prove that this export has actually happened. Even though the export has actually happened, but if we are not maintaining the proper documents, and if FTA comes to an audit, they will take the amount figures from the 0% to 5% straight away because we don't have the document, but we don't have a good documentation practice. So that is what we are going to implement. Once in VAT health check, where we find out that proper documents are not maintained, then how FTA will be able to identify that this is 0%, this should be coming under 0% or 5%. So it is one of the most important thing, documentation practice, how we are doing it, how we are archiving our previous historical documents. That's a very important thing. Similarly, the invoices that we issue, everyone is most of them are following invoice formats. Still, there is an ambiguity when tax invoice is issued. Many people are not following the criteria, but still everyone knows that there is a particular format issue prescribed by the FTA on the basis of which a tax invoice has to be issued. Now, we are issuing a tax invoice in a perfect format very well. What about the invoices that we are receiving from a supplier? Because FTA has recently started to disallow the expenses from the supplier on the invoices from the supplier, which are not in the correct format. So we are also liable to ensure that the suppliers also issue correct tax invoice. You will say, how we will do that? This, we had a discussion with FTA officers. Their response was that if the supplier is not giving a proper tax invoice, tell him this is not the correct tax invoice format. Please give us a correct tax invoice format. And if you're not giving that, we won't be paying you. This is a very simple solution. Practically, it is little difficult, but yes, this is how we can ensure that we are able to claim all the expenses. Now, quickly I'll take what are the key areas where invoicing errors are coming out. Now, everyone has started mentioning their TRN, customer TRN, date, tax invoice number, and everything. One of the most important area where the tax invoice format non-compliance is happening is where there are 3 line items in an invoice, all 5%. We are not showing line-wise VAT amount. We are showing a consolidated amount at the end, VAT 5% of the total on the total 3 line items. For example, we purchased, we have a line item of 1,000 each. So every line item should show base value 1,000, 5% VAT. So 50 is the VAT amount. So total 1,050. Similarly for the second item, similarly for the third item. But many of the companies, what they are following is first line item, 1,000 dirhams, second line item, 1,000 dirhams, third line item, 1,000 dirhams. So 3,000 VAT at the rate 5%, 150. This is a wrong practice. VAT amount should be there for each and every line item. Because of the simple thing, we have got the document, we have got the tax invoice, we have paid the amount, we are eligible to claim the input tax, but still there will be a disallowance from FTA because of simple reason that a line item wise VAT was not presented. So please ensure that the supplier invoices are also compliant with the tax invoice format as prescribed by FTA. Now, disallowed expenses. What are disallowed expenses? Maybe mobile expenses related to the staff, vehicles that is given to the staff, where we are not able to prove that it is used for 100% business purpose. Wherever there is an ambiguity that such expenses we cannot categorize that it is used 100% for business purpose, please don't claim it. Please don't claim mobile expenses given to the staff, because we are not able to bifurcate how much percentage is being used for business purpose and how much is used for personal purpose. So once FTA comes to an audit, they are focusing on these key areas related to input tax, because that is the area where the tax revenues to the FTA are getting reduced because of the claim of the input tax. So they will be first focusing on how we are claiming the input tax and on what all expenses we are claiming the input tax. Now, tax not accounted on imported goods. Everyone knows import of goods. It will be coming into our box number 6 in the VAT portal. Goods which are used for business purposes and imported in our name, we can take it under RCM in box number 10. But there are many items which is not used for business purpose, but still we take it under box number 10. Such items should be avoided from RCM and VAT shall be paid on it, because if we are taking the RCM, we are taking the input of such goods in box number 10 under RCM provisions, then a penalty will be levied on the goods which are not eligible, on the value of the goods which are not eligible for input tax. Now, one of the most important thing is few industries are having standard rated supply, zero rated supply, as well as exempt supplies category. So why is exempt supply categories important? It is related to the input tax. FTA has clearly stated that input tax can be claimed only on supplies that are taxable. And what is exempt supply? Any supply other than the taxable supply will be termed as exempt supplies. So whenever there is an exempt supply, the first important thing that a taxpayer should be vigilant about is whether what is the amount of the expenses related to that exempt supply, so that we can apply proper standard apportionment method prescribed by the FTA and find out this percentage of input tax cannot be claimed because it is related to exempt supplies, and that should be taken out straight away. And wherever we are reporting exempt supplies, FTA checks this thing with a very high priority item, as a high priority item, to check whether we are not claiming input tax related to exempt supplies. This all can be, and there are many other things but these are some of the few important things which are recently coming out during the FTA audits. So in VAT health check, we can find out whether we are claiming that or not, so that we can make the corrective action at the earliest. Now, what are the corrective actions? Everyone knows about voluntary disclosure. Whenever there is an error or omission in a return which is already filed, that can be rectified by applying for a voluntary disclosure, where the tax payable difference is more than 10,000, voluntary disclosure for that particular tax period can be applied. Wherever the tax impact is less than 10,000, we can show it in the subsequent tax return. Now, a voluntary disclosure is submitted. It has certain penalties attached to it, which we would be discussing in the further slides. Once a voluntary disclosure is submitted, we have to pay the necessary, we have to pay the tax, we have to pay the penalty and everything. And we can also request the FTA based on the right given to us by the UAE VAT decree law. We can file a reconsideration to reconsider the penalty which is levied. It's a prayer to the FTA that yes, there was an error which was not intentional and which happened, but not an intentional error. So based on the provisions, kindly reconsider your decision of the penalty which is levied. So on the basis of this, FTA at its discretion, of course, they will be reconsidering the decision if they feel the case as deemed fit. Now, till June 28th, 2021, the penalties were levied on the basis of Cabinet Decision number 40 of 2017. From June 28, 2021, FTA has introduced Cabinet Decision number 49, on the basis of which penalty has been reduced drastically in some areas, which is benefiting the taxpayer. Of course, we should not be considering that penalties has been reduced as a relief. We should be avoiding the penalties as maximum as possible. But unintentional errors or omissions can lead to penalties, but still it is a huge relief for the taxpayers. Now, I'm not listing down here all the penalties, but some key penalty changes. I would be just presenting it before you. This all has been presented, has been sent to the client on a regular basis by HLB flash campaigns to the clients, to the taxpayers, but still it is just a repetitive as a casual information we can present. Now, late payment penalty. As per the earlier provision, the late payment penalty was 2% immediately after the due date. For example, June 28th is the deadline of filing return and payment of tax. If you are not paying the tax on June 29th, straight 2% penalty will come. Then after 1 week, 4% penalty would have come. And then after 1 month from the due date, a 1% daily penalty would have been applicable up to a maximum of 300%. So every day there will be a 1% penalty till you pay the tax. This penalty is changed by FTA, which is in effect from June 28, 2021. So immediately after the due date, there will be a penalty of 2% as it is. But the 4% and 1% is quashed by FTA. And now there will be a monthly penalty of 4%. So earlier, where there was 1% penalty daily, like for example, in 1 year itself, it would have been 300%. So you forgot to pay a tax of 10,000 dirhams. So that penalty would be 2%, 4%, plus this 1% daily up to a maximum of 300%. So you will have to pay additional 20,000, 30,000 on the 10,000 tax. But now based on this 4% penalty, now 2% anyways you have to pay. Now the 4% every month will be 400. So this has been drastically reduced. So in 1 year itself, it will be only 48%. Of course, this is also till maximum of 300%. So in 1 year, it will be only 48%. So this penalty, which everyone was facing was having too much of issue with this 1% penalty, is being squashed by FTA, and this 4% monthly penalty is introduced. Now, when you submit a voluntary disclosure, as said earlier, there will be a tax payable impact, where it will be more than 10,000. So now we had to pay tax more than 10,000. We didn't pay, we reported by voluntary disclosure. Now what? Now nothing, just pay the tax. But if we pay the tax within 20 business days from the submission of the voluntary disclosure, there will be no penalty as mentioned above. But if we don't pay within the 20 business day, when the 20 business day is over, the next day they will charge 2% and then monthly 4% till we make the payment. Now, when we file a VD, there is going to be a percentage-based penalty because of the late payment in the tax. Now, how that penalty is going to be? If we are submitting a voluntary disclosure within 1 year of the submission of the tax return for which we are submitting a voluntary disclosure, then it will be 5% penalty on the tax amount. If we are doing that within 2 years of the submission of the original tax return, it will be 10%. If within 3 years, it will be 20%. Within 4 years, it will be 30%. And after the 4th year, anytime we submit, it will be 40%. Now, how that is benefiting, now this is very much important link to a VAT health check. How? For 2018-19, of course, it's been old, so it will come under the 20% or 30% category based on the quarter in which it will be, for which we are going to file a voluntary disclosure. But for 2019 late and 2020, if a VAT health check is done at this moment, and if any corrections has to be made, they will come under a 5% or 10% category. So for example, if we are doing a Q3 review of 2020, and there are certain amendments that needs to be made, and because of the changes, there has been a voluntary disclosure submission where the tax payable has come at 50,000. Then the VD penalty will come only at 5%, that is 2,500. But let's say we are not doing a VAT health check now. We are doing it in the next year based on some more corrections or some more errors that we have found out during our independent review. Then the penalty will not be 5%, it will be 10%. So 50,000 we will have to pay. Instead of 2,500, we will have to pay 5,000. So as long as we drag and we are not having an assurance that, okay, whether we are following a correct VAT practice or not, the penalty will increase over a period of time, and which will affect the cash flow operations of the business. And many entities, they are not having tax payable differences in 50,000, they are having in hundreds of thousands. So if a VAT health check is done at this point of time and any corrective action needs to be taken, that can be taken, and then the least of the penalty can be paid, and we can be assured that, okay, every correction has been made, now there is nothing to worry, and there will not be going to be a further impact on the cash flow of the business. Now, a BD submitted, but after notified by FTA, after notified by the FTA about the audit, if we are reviewing and if we are submitting a voluntary disclosure or on the request of the FTA, then a straight penalty of 50% will be levied on the tax amount plus a 4% monthly penalty on the unpaid tax from the due date of the payment. Now again, the health check importance is coming here. Why are we waiting for an FTA to come to an audit? Why are we not taking a step ahead and then correcting ourselves? And we are doing a VAT health check. If this is done, then this penalty, which instead of 5% we have to pay, we will be paying 50%. That is almost 10 times. So as the example given earlier, in 50,000 tax payable, we pay 5% and we are clear of the tax quarter. But if FTA comes to an audit, if instead of 2,500, they would be charging 25,000, straight 10%, 50,000 into 50% penalty, plus 4% amount on the unpaid tax. Why are we taking this risk? We should be getting our health check done on a regular basis so as to understand that, okay, we are safe, we are maintaining all the necessary documentation, we are following all the compliances and controls as prescribed by FTA, and a third-party consultant like HLB Hunt, who is having experience in various industries at different levels of companies, from small, medium, large, multinational conglomerates, we are having experience. We will be able to suggest that what corrective action has to be taken on timely basis. So it's very, very important for the companies to consider that whether a health check should be done at this point, at this moment or not, because it is beneficial for the company itself. First of all, they will be able to detect the non-compliance on timely basis. They will be able to understand what corrective action has to be taken, and they will also be able to understand the impact on the cash flow on what penalties are going to come at the bare minimum. But if they wait for an FTA audit to come, then the penalties are going to be huge. So kindly consider to get a health check done at the earliest. Now, FTA has introduced as a very bold step of a redetermination of the administrative penalties, which was recently introduced. And whatever penalty a company has, unsettled penalty, on or before June 28, 2021, FTA has given an amnesty scheme where they will be waiving off 70% of the unsettled penalty. However, certain conditions has to be fulfilled to get the benefit of that. Now, in any taxpayer who is having a penalty, when you log into our FTA portal, in the front page itself, you will say click here to view the administrative penalty on the cabinet decision number 49 of 2021. When you click that, you will have a breakup of what is the unsettled tax, what is the unsettled penalty, 30% of that amount, how much you are liable, how much you should be paying to getting benefit of this amnesty scheme, and what is the total tax, total penalty, total due to the FTA. So there you will find the 30% amount. Now, to get benefit of this amnesty, to take benefit of this amnesty scheme, you should be paying the tax which is outstanding. You should be paying 30% of the unsettled penalty, and this amount should be paid before 31st December 2021. Once you pay this, at the end of 2021, FTA will redetermine and they will waive off the 70% and 70% of the remaining penalty. Now, if you pay a penalty now, still the reversal will be happening only at the end of 2021. So take benefit of the scheme. Whatever penalty is existing before June 28, 2021, get it paid. Please pay it 30% of the amount and settle all the taxes related to that penalty, and take the benefit of the amnesty scheme which is given by FTA. Now, last topic, which is very important. MOF recently introduced a cabinet decision number 51. What is this? We are already having a reconsideration right in place where we can apply to the FTA to reconsider the decision on the penalty levied. However, there is another channel which is opened. We can apply to the FTA to reduce or exempt the taxes, the penalty which is imposed. However, we have to give proper justification. We have to provide evidence, and we have to also prove that the violation that happened is corrected and corrective measures are implemented so that it is not being repeated. This all has to be given in a company letterhead. So what all contents should be there? The person should give a reason which is acceptable to the FTA. Gross negligence will not be entertained. But if we are having a reasonable excuse to be presented to FTA that the violation happened because of certain reasons which were not under our knowledge and which were not under our control, we can present the excuse accordingly, and proper evidence also has to be submitted. For example, as said earlier, maybe supplier is not giving a proper tax invoice, but FTA has disallowed those expenses. Let's say about 100,000 tax is coming because of those disallowed expenses. So we can tell the FTA that we have repeatedly informed our supplier. There might be email communications. There might be other written documents. There might be other warnings to the supplier that we have provided necessary warnings to the supplier to provide proper invoice as per the FTA regulations. And then they should have given the proper invoice, but they have not given. So on the basis of that, kindly consider the reversal of the penalty which is levied on us. And that email communication and everything should be presented along with that letter. And it also must be proved that necessary steps have been taken, that it is not repeated, that warnings, final warning given to the suppliers that please give or else we are not going to pay the amount, something like that, something to that effect. This is one case that we are I am giving. There may be different steps to be taken for different sort of excuses and the corrective actions. So it is different. So for this particular case, this is how we have to take the corrective action. And this application has to be submitted within 40 business days from the date we have found out that this is the reason of the penalty, and then on the basis of this reason, we have to apply to the FTA for reduction and exemption from the penalty which is already levied. Now, what is the mechanism to apply on the basis of this? On our discussion with FTA officers, they said that the form is still under designing and the finalization stage. But as of now, what we can do is in the company letterhead, we can write a letter, and it has to be signed and stamped, and the signature has to be of the authorized signatory, and it has to be addressed to His Excellency Mr. Khalid Al Bustani, the Director General of Federal Tax Authority, and we have to send it by email, a scanned copy. We have with all the necessary documents, evidences. We have to send it to FTA. So by this, the FTA will take its time, and at its discretion, they will be considering whether any reduction or exemption has to be given or not. So dear taxpayers, dear clients, dear potential clients, we are requesting to take the benefit of all these provisions that FTA is introducing for the benefit of taxpayers. Get a health check done regularly. Take the benefit of the amnesty scheme which is introduced by FTA. Take the benefit of the reduced penalties by doing timely health check, timely independent review, or a quick review. And also, if there are existing penalties, also take benefit of the cabinet decision number 51. In HLB HAMD, we have experience in filing reconsiderations, and based on that experience, we will also utilize that. We have already started utilizing that to file the letters on the basis of this cabinet decision number 51. And now it is at FTA's discretion how this will be, how they are going to decide. So please, instead of looking into having a self-assurance that, okay, we are having 100% perfect VAT compliance system, get it done by a third-party consultant who is experienced and who is having experience in wide variety of industries and across every category of companies, so that that experience can be brought in for your benefit, and then you can also take benefit of that. That's it from my side. Hope you found this presentation informative. You can give your feedback. You can post your queries at tax@hlbhamd.com. I'll repeat, tax@hlbhamd.com. So please give your feedback, post your queries at the earliest. We will be responding it on a timely basis. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.